Today I'm going to go deep diving into lead generation. I'm going to show you how you can actually automate lead generation from LinkedIn into your CRM and any CRM that you're using, be it HubSpot or PyDrive or Bravo. And what I'm going to use, well, I'm going to first show you how we do it in ClickUp. So ClickUp connected with LinkedIn. First off, let's take a look at lead generation in LinkedIn. Because there was a question that I had from a couple of clients actually, how to do that, how to easily integrate lead generation from LinkedIn into their CRM, which is a common thing. A lot of people try to put, a lot of people do sales or do marketing and sales through LinkedIn. They are generating leads, but they want to get these leads. You have to follow up with these people. So how do you do that? You do that by putting them somewhere in your CRM. And in many cases, this is being done manually. Manually copying the name and then adding more and more information into your CRM. Now, the full integration with LinkedIn is if I'm talking about lead generation and automating that, it's very much the first couple of steps where if somebody shows interest in what you do, then it gets added to your CRM system. And from there on out, you can start following up with people. So how does that look like? That's what I'm going to show you. So within ClickUp, why do I use ClickUp as CRM? It's been growing like that organically across many years now, because I'm able to set this up the way that I want. I can really customize it in such detail that I can put whatever field here that I want. It doesn't really matter. I can color code everything. I have the ability to add comments to all of these lines that are automatically test stamped. So followed up, I can put here, and then you have a timestamp added to it, right? So that's a big plus that you can do that. And you can automate, you can customize this as much as you want, right? You can set your statuses here, so you can say these are qualified leads, qualified marketing leads. So you have a different way of grouping your leads. Very, very flexible. That's why I like ClickUp, because it's allowing me to mold my CRM to the way that I work. It's allowing me to set something up within ClickUp that fits my way of working, which in other CRM tools, that's not usually the case. Usually, like with PyDrive, for example, it's very much email heavy, which means that all the features within PyDrive are linked to emails. So they presume that as a salesperson, you do the communication, you do the follow-ups and so on through email, which it's not always the case, right? And in my case, I'm doing most of my follow-ups through social media. And then within these kind of CRM tools, you can add notes, for example, but that's limited. But here, I can just keep adding comments, and I can say followed up on Instagram, for example. Or let's keep it at LinkedIn. Followed up on LinkedIn, and I just click. So that's the beauty of this. I click, I type, I enter, and there we go. I got a history of what I have been doing. This process in other tools, not so much straightforward, because they presume that you do this through email. And if you do it through email, then it's automatically captured into your CRM. There's a history of all of that. So that works, right? But again, that's not how I work. I'm not sending emails. Honestly, I don't like to be in inbox all the time anyway. And if I'm helping businesses to automate and systemize their business, it is definitely something in the back of my mind, like how can I make sure that they don't need to spend that much time in their inbox, because that is very overwhelming and can be very frustrating to spend all of that time into your inbox. So I don't want to do that. Anyway, so this is what we have created here in ClickUp, and I use this list here, and this is basically my, right now in terms of automation, this is my catch-all leads list that I use to connect with the automation that is coming from Dripify. And Dripify is the tool that we use for LinkedIn automation. So that's this one, and yeah, that's, you can see how much it costs. So here we are. So Dripify is the tool that I'm using to automate lead generation in LinkedIn. I'm using it on and off. I'm using it in periods of time, like a couple of months, maybe a quarter, where I'm really focused on generating leads, on expanding my audience on LinkedIn in a way that it's automated, in a way that I don't need to spend hours every day to go through connection requests, to search for new people and so on. What I use Dripify for, and what I suggest everybody uses Dripify for, is really mainly to expand your audience. Expand your audience quickly. Expand your audience with very much focused target audience, because that's important. You want to connect with people still in a genuine way. No matter if it's automated or not, you still want to connect with people in a genuine way. And to do that, I believe, even through tools like this, you have to be very clear on who you're going to target, your niche, so that your messaging that you're using in your campaign is very much tailored to their situation, to their industry, to their, what they are doing. Because that will give you better results for people saying, yeah, I want to connect with you for sure. If you're just sending generic shit, if you're just sending generic sales messages, this is not going to work. No matter what automation that you're going to create, it's just not going to work, because nobody wants that kind of generic stuff in their inboxes all the time anyway, right? So I don't want to do that. So that's why I really suggest to go very, very focused. So how to do that? So within Dripify, you can set up several campaigns, and they can run all at once. As you can see here, I have several here that you can set up. And each of them has a specific amount of leads. One has more than the other. This one has a lot. The other one, some other like 109, not so much. And 109 is not that much, right, in terms of the amount of leads within your campaign. So the more, the better, as long as they're very, very specific. Like I have one, Zakenkantoor Oost-Vlaanderen. This is a Dutch one, Dutch-speaking one here in Belgium, very locally, the region where I'm from. I set this up, so within LinkedIn I go search these specific people that have this specific type of business, and I put that into one campaign. And then within that one campaign, I can craft a message that is really, really related to them. Okay. Another example would be, let's see, I think this one. Well, I have a lot of campaigns that were around LGBTQ+, because of my other business that I had, which was Titanology. And then I had something like this, right? So this was pointed towards LGBTQ+ business in a specific group, a group within LinkedIn. That's possible. You can target a group in LinkedIn and then get all the leads that are in that group. And then the kind of sequence, and this is the beauty as well of Dripify, to be honest, this is one of the strong points of Dripify, is that you can create something complex kind of automation as this one, and it's very visual, and I love that. I love that it's so visual. So here you can then start putting this together, and the first trigger is to send an invite, and within that invite you can edit the message. I'm not sure. Oh, there it is. So you can craft this message within that send invite, and then you can even personalize it with specific fields here that you can get. All these fields are fields that are available, that are filled out by most of the people within LinkedIn. So city, for example, industry, the amount of connections, you can even get that from LinkedIn, company location, all of these things you can use. Oh look, you can even do this one. That's actually really good. Mutual connection name. Now, of course, again, if you use something like this, and you say, I see that you're also connected with this person. If you also don't know that person that you're connected with, I mean, genuine, right? As genuine as possible, and you want to reach out to people. So I'd rather just use their first name as a variable in here that is automatically added when this message is sent to this person, and then really specific about LGBTQ plus and yada yada yada, right? So that's the message, and then from there on out, you can say wait 1 hour. Yeah, you can wait 1 hour or up to a couple of days even. I think there's a maximum. I'm not sure how much that the maximum is that you can wait, but that's what you can do. So it also, you shouldn't be spamming, right? So this allows you to not spam, right? It saves you from spamming. So then 1 day goes by, another message. And then you can set up some conditions. So if it's viewed, if the person has viewed the message, you can go either way. And also the beautiful thing about Dripify is that you can put in actions automatically. So it goes out, it finds a post of the person that you're reaching out to, and it likes a post or even endorses skills. It can view the profile and then again the messaging. But these actions that doesn't require anything from you in terms of input is being done automatically. And even though it's automated, I know it is automated, but even though it's automated, it's still nice. It's still a touch point to remind that person that you're connected with them and that they should potentially communicate with you, engage with you as well, right? So that's a good thing. I like that. I like that a lot, that you can do that. And again, you shouldn't be spamming this. You do it once in the whole sequence. You do it once, and that's enough, right? Especially in this case, if they haven't viewed your message, then this makes sense. Then like a post automatically, so they, oh, wait a minute, this person, Stephan, liked my post. Maybe I should go back to my inbox and see what he had to say. Or who is he? They check out your profile. They maybe they see that you're connected, so they go into their inbox and then they can see that message. So something that's really cool as well. So that's Dripify. That's really Dripify. You set up the sequence, so you set up the audience, you set up the sequence, and off you go. You can start it, right? You can set it on active, then it will start generating those leads and those messages. Now, where does the audience come from? So within Dripify, this works the best if you connect this with Sales Navigator. Because let's say this one, for example, so recruiting agencies EMEA, so all recruiting agencies in the European Economic Area, I can go to LinkedIn and I can search for that, well, Sales Navigator, sorry, I can go to Sales Navigator and search for that specific audience. So I go to Sales Navigator. So we have our saved searches. That's what you need. You need to have a saved search, because if you go back to the saved searches, you have this one, recruiting agency owners, a specific amount of people in a headcount, right? Company headcount, region, what seniority level, and so on and so on and so on. So I get this list. Now what do you do? So you have 644 results. Wait, show some 644 results, but it says I have 752 new results. $409 now. So they are 670 in total. Okay. So what do you do then? You take this URL, this search URL, and you put that into, close this because it's confusing. You put that into this one here. So I can add a new list. So I can add leads, sorry. I give it a name, new list, whatever. And then here you can see how would you like to add leads. You can use LinkedIn search. That's what I'm going to do. You can just create a full list of profile URLs and use that, or upload a CSV. But I'm going to use the LinkedIn search because that's the easiest. I just put in this link from Sales Navigator, and what it will do, you can see 644. So if I go to Sales Navigator, I see 644. So all of these people here will be loaded into this list of leads. I say I want to get them all, so they will all be added to this list. Once you do that, you have something like this. So 303 leads here. And once you activate this campaign, it will start in the background. Dripify will start taking all of these profiles from LinkedIn, putting them in here. And then here you can see how many leads have gone through the full sequence, how many leads are continuing, how many leads are ready to enter the sequence. So I still have 100 leads here that didn't even enter the automation yet. So if I turn this on, it will continue with those 100, or even with those 167, depending on where they are in the sequence. Now the real power, and this is what I want to get to, because this is not a live stream about how to do lead generation, what you should say and so on. I'm not going to go into that. What I want to show you is how you can connect this, all the leads, towards your CRM. And that's how you do it. Here, this is how you do it. So here, for each campaign, by the way, so you can do this for each of these campaigns separately. What you can do is you can set up a webhook. Now, what is a webhook? Basically, without going into too much detail, let's go here. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to show that easily. But, so what is a webhook? A webhook is basically once an action happens, right? So once an action happens in a specific tool, then it will, how should I say this? If an action happens within Dripify and you have specified a specific URL, that's called the webhook. It will call that URL, and what it will do, it will add all the information from that action, all the metadata that a tool gives to that action. It will send that to that URL. that's basically it. That's what it does. So here you can see, push your leads data from Dripify to other software you use through app integration app like Zapier. So it pushes the data coming from Dripify into whatever tool that you're using, and it uses, you have to provide a URL. So this is the webhook URL from Zapier that we've put in here. Within Zapier, we created a Zap that starts with a hook, with a webhook. This one will catch the data, right? So Dripify hooks itself, or the vice versa, or Zapier hooks itself to Dripify. Creating this trigger action generates a specific webhook URL. Again, this webhook URL is different, is unique for each Zap. So if you create a new Zap, you will get a new webhook URL. That's how it works. So you could make a combination between these kind of campaigns here. So for each campaign, you could create a specific Zap that pushes data towards whatever, that gives you a notification. I don't know, you can go as far as you want. You can go as detailed or as advanced as you want within Zapier, basically. Once you have the data, you can do whatever with the data. So what I have been doing in the last few months to automate adding all of these leads, so all these people here, I've put them, all of them, into ClickUp. So here's ClickUp. All these people come from the webhook. Actually, all these people come from Zapier that has created these tasks based on a webhook. So based on an action here that has happened within Dripify. Now, which action do you ask? Which action triggers this kind of a webhook? Well, if I go back to this one again, so the action, we define the action ourselves, basically. Because here we can say which action should activate the webhook. Which action will send this data to the webhook. Here I say after a lead replies. So let's see, what options do we have here? Because I'm actually curious now. Usually I use this one, or even after connection request is accepted, right? That's an obvious one because you add the lead into your system once it becomes clear that that person shows an interest in what you do. And they will only, let's say 90% only connects with you, with your connection requests, if they are somewhat curious about who you are. If they are totally not interested, they would not connect with you. I mean, I would not do that. Again, I would say LinkedIn is best used to create a network of your ideal customers or partnerships, right? Or people that you want to have into your sphere of influence. You don't want people into your network on LinkedIn just because they look nice. With all due respect, then you should go to Instagram or something like that. But do not use LinkedIn like that. Use LinkedIn, create your network for business opportunities, for referrals, for getting your ideal customers connected with you. That's how I would use this. And that's also why I'm only adding people into ClickUp, not if they have not if they have accepted the connection request, but I add them to ClickUp if they have replied on my message. That's when. Not after profile is viewed, after leads post is liked. So you can see these are all actions either coming from me or based on the action that they take. And of course, if they take an action based on what I send them, I think that is a good indication that this can become a lead. You would do it anyway. Even if you don't have this kind of automation, you would do it anyway. You would see that somebody has connected with you. You would follow up with them anyway. Are they leads? You can debate on that, right? That's why it's so important that if you do this kind of sales navigator search, that you're very specific. Who do you want to connect with? That has to be very, very, very clear. As much as you can filter this, go for it. So then if this happens, if a lead replies on your message, then that becomes a lead. Because also within your sequence, so within the sequence, your first couple of messages should at least indicate or talk about who you are. So here I say I'm Stephan from Dripify, I'm a tech nerd, blah, blah, blah. I'm passionate about optimizing business operations to increase efficiency and productivity, right? And then I say, I'd love to connect and share insights on making businesses like yours highly efficient so you can unchain yourself from your desk. That's my connection request. So I tell them who I am. I already tell them that I'm an expert in optimizing business operations and that I would want to share with them some ideas on how making their business highly efficient. That's the first message. If they accept the connection request, that's a touch point, and that's an indication that, well, in some cases people don't read these kind of connection requests and they accept everything. So that's one thing. But that's why I do not add these people that have accepted the connection request as leads before they reply, either on the first message or on the second one, which is an invite to a lead magnet. This is a lead magnet, right? And here you could even, to make it even better, you would add a question here. Well, if they don't reply here, fine, no worries. If they would do the lead magnet, I get their details as a lead anyway. But that's another mechanism, that's another automation, another tool. So I go further, more lead magnets, to eventually, and I'm not sure if I actually have it, so I could, yeah, this one. So eventually I ask, we'd love to get your feedback on the quiz and the guide. What do you think about it? If you're not interested, I'm not even sure that you would reply on that. In many cases, the people that do reply on that are somewhat interested in what you do, and they are leads. Look, it's a numbers game, right? The more leads that you have, the more chances that you have that there's somebody in there that could be a potential customer. So if it means that you need to have 600 leads to generate 6 sales that are worth, I don't know, 10K per sale, then this is worth it, right? The problem that most business owners, including me, face is that to send out 600 connection requests or more to get enough people to talk to you, right? So you have to at least send 600 messages, at least. Now I have here 1, 2, 3, let's say 4 messages times 600. That becomes a lot to follow up with. That becomes a lot if you only have a couple of minutes, maybe an hour per day, to get to that point that you're sending 600 or more, or even 1200 of these messages. How long will it take you? That's why I think using something like this makes sense. It just makes sense. Just to expand your network, just to be able to have enough conversations started, right? And this makes sense, 100%. All right, so we have our webhook, right? So the webhook connects to Zapier, which is here. So here I have my trigger. So let's edit this one so you can see more in detail. Okay, got distracted. So we have our trigger here. So it's called catch hook, obvious. You could pick off a child key. I'm not going to do that. I just want a full payload, as they say. I want to get the full payload. Let's see if we have some new records coming through. So this is the latest one. So here you can see within Zapier what is the full payload, which means what is the full amount of metadata that has been catched by this hook. You can see first name, last name, location. This is coming from Dripify, and the link to their LinkedIn profile, the website, email is in here, the phone number is in here, a position, yada yada yada. That's all in here, right? That's all what's in here, which is great because that's what I need, that's what I want, and that's what I'm going to add into ClickUp, into my CRM. So here I just add another task into my Titanify leads list, which is here, Titanify leads. This is getting added. And look, here you can just quickly see how it looks like. And you can optimize that. This is by no means fully optimized because it's adding like the full name, and then it's adding the company name in the title of the task. It's adding some labels, which in some cases are useful, in other cases they are not useful. It's adding their company website, it's adding their LinkedIn profile, which is very useful because then I just can click and I open their LinkedIn profile. And I think that's about it. That's the only things that I'm adding here. You could add more, right? Because you can do with that data coming from the webhook as much as you want. So I could add all of these fields actually, not just this, not just the website and so on, also the city. For example, we have the email. What else do we have? We have a phone number, which is very interesting. So if you have a sales team that needs to call a lead the moment that they show an interest, well, this is perfect. You can add the phone number in your CRM system. You hook up your CRM system with a phone tool on your computer or your phone central, and you call people basically. Because if you call people, that's also powerful, right? So you can do that by connecting this with this simple Zap, and that's it. That's how you do it. That's how you connect your LinkedIn search here, your sales navigator search. You link that to an automated outreach campaign sequence right here, which then triggers a specific webhook here that goes into Zapier here and then to your CRM. I use ClickUp. I mean, if you use Zapier, you can use whatever here. You can use Pipedrive. You can use Bravo. You can use, I'm not even sure, Salesforce. Let's see if they have it. Salesforce, yeah. SAP, that would be crazy. I don't think so, no. But yeah, you can put it in all of these systems. Awesome. So check it out. It's really cool. It's really cool. I love this kind of automations because it's very practical. It's very useful. It saves a lot of time.